All right. Good morning, evening, afternoon. Masati here. Welcome to Man Month. It's gonna be gonna be a fantastic month. As a note, I'll be manning all the technical stuff in the background, so might be a little glitchy on the technical side there for you. All right. Welcome back again. This is Masati on Sunday, where we explore the deeper meanings, the not the cause of the effect, but the actual cause of why things happen the way they do. This is where we can learn from the past, learn what we messed up on, learn what we did great, and then move forward. A lot like a lot like a black box in on an airplane. When an airplane crashes, what happens is that they look into the black box, right? They look into the black box and understand what went wrong, what went right, and then go forward. It's a really interesting because that's what nature does every time, every generation, every moment, every second. What happens is that it goes back, checks the coding, and goes, "Damn, okay, how could it be more efficient? How could it be more efficient?" And then it goes forward, right? And then it recreates. But humans, because of free will, like I've always said, is really a bitch, right? Free will. What happens on free will is we don't check the coding. We don't look back to go forward and be better. We look back to find old solutions that didn't work back in the day and then replicate them and bring them forward into the present moment. Hence, we repeat the patterns, especially nowadays. Now, what's happening? Now, what's happening is that everything's in chaos, right? What I used to call pure source, the wave of the pure wave, purity wave coming through, and it is coming through. But basically, what the purity wave is that time and space is clarifying itself. So you can't hold on to your bullshit, right? Simply, that's all it is. Time and space is clarifying. It's becoming more efficient, just like any invention does. It becomes more efficient over time. It starts to eliminate all the distortions, so it can improve. It can be in high performance, right? It can evolve. Again, what happens though in society today? What we do is it's time for us to improve, right? And then people get all over the place and they go, I don't know what to do. Well, look inwards, and that's what this show is about. That's what the XI Code is about, xicode.com. That's what the XI Woman series is about. Actually, we've got the XI Woman series coming up, an intro call coming up 8 p.m. Central. Highly recommend it. Even if you are a man, it'll tell you basically how women work, so you can handle them better. All right, and you can have a better life, right? All right, so today, this whole month, June, is Man Month. Okay? And the reason why I call it Man Month, May was, XI Woman Month. And we went through all the details of how to be a strong, iconic woman. Not the way society tells you, not the way back in the day, not the way today's women, was, but how you were originally coded to be your purest potential. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing. And by the way, comment in on if you enjoyed, XI Woman Month in May. Okay. So Man Month, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go into a lot of the a lot of the deep topics on what makes a real man. Not according to Andrew Tate's definition or this guy called Aubrey Marcus. How many of you have heard of the Aubrey Marcus? So we're going to get into all the details. I'll read Aubrey Marcus, by the way, as we, I think it's next week or the week after. So again, I'll be reading, say, successful men throughout the month, and again, see what they did right, see what they did wrong. The one key that I want to emphasize is that, again, this was on a Joe Rogan podcast, where they were talking about, the greatest men, even Marcus Aurelius, the guy from the Stoic, right? The Stoic books that you read, right? He made the worst father. So they were talking about, like, yeah, you know what? All great men make really bad fathers, which is really fucked up, right? Because think of it. if they make bad fathers, and if you look at it just from a scientific perspective, right? If they can't figure out their own household, how are they gonna make society much better, right? So the distortions that they can't figure out in the household, in the petri dish, in the sandbox that they're in, they're extrapolating that into society. Whoever it is, Elon Musk, Trump, any of those great individuals. Again, I'm not talking about what they do as at a physical level, but the underlying frequency, again, is of distortion. So even if you even if you have a great idea, if you've noticed in the world, in history, again, just look back in history. You don't have to believe me, just look back in history. Anything that's been benevolent in history has turned out to be destructive. Okay? And it's not just about men. Women are the same way. So a lot of women these days is like, gosh, it's the men's fault. It's that fault. No, it's your fault for getting yourself into that space. If you had the right frequency, you would evolve from it and actually hone men to what they should be. The same way with men as well. I'm not picking on women. I'm not picking on men. I'm picking on anything that's wrong. I'm just going for the truth here. All right, guys. All right. So this is going to be a world frequency meditation, and a world frequency meditation is really bringing in. Trying to look at some of the comments here. Really bringing in. Let's see here. There we go. Really bringing in, say, the true, well, definition of what a man should be. Okay. Just making sure everything is going good. I think it is. Yeah. Okay. Let me just check up on that. Yeah. And again, just reading some of the comments. True feminine and true masculine. What a beautiful world, wouldn't it be? Right? If we all and again, this isn't about we're going to be talking about gender roles and so on like that. A lot of people have been asking me about what does MOS think about being gay, being lesbian, and being LGBT and all that. I'll give you the science version or the evolutionary version on why that is. Not it's a disease and or it's a sin and they should all that bullshit. Okay, it is what it is. So I'll be explaining a ton of stuff that nobody else can, because they don't have access to the natural intelligence like I do, and this is what I teach, by the way. Right? We teach you the actual, say, the natural intelligence of why things work the way they do. All right, so you can bring in anybody in this world frequency meditation, by the way. Let's go ahead and get comfortable. Take a breath in. All right. So on this on this MOS on Sunday, what will let's see, what I'll be guiding you, okay, is the often, say, misunderstood realm of true masculinity, like I was talking about. Okay, it's not as dominance, rigidity, or emotional detachment. But as a sacred frequency of presence, of strength and protection, which is rooted in consciousness, not through your muscles or how much money you have or how many women you can have or all that stuff that we talk about. Literally, it's just rooted in the frequency that you're at, because you can have all that stuff and you're still not a man. So think of it. Again, a lot of men have all those things, all those qualities. They've got they've got the bulging muscles. They've got the women. They've got the luxury yachts. They've got this and that, but they don't have the consciousness. And that's why their families are fucked up, and that's why the world gets fucked up as well, right? So again, I'm bringing you the frequencies through the lens of XI, Exponential Intelligence. I'll explore the masculine beyond the noise of culture, beyond beyond religion and distortion. So, and as a note, like I said earlier, this isn't about returning to the old roles or rejecting them. It's about remembering the original masculine, learning from the past, and then going forward as a vital generative force of balance and action and integrity, by the way. So take a deep breath in. Strong deep breath in. So whether you identify as masculine, have a relationship to it, or, well, maybe been affected by it, this meditation will help you heal that distortion and restore you to the authentic frequency. Take a deep breath in again. And this is where we can embody true masculinity. Again, the one that helps you return to source, to your original concept of who you are. Again, that living consciousness. So no matter what generation you're in, you're complete. True frequencies don't change with generation. They stay the same. The experiences might change, but true frequencies don't. Breathe deep. We're going to go through three aspects of what we'll talk about in the meditation. Again, you can close your eyes, take a deep breath in, close your eyes. We'll go into presence without performance, sacred protector versus wounded controller, and then divine polarity, making peace with the feminine. Breathe. Go back in time, whether you're a woman, man, doesn't really matter, and go back to, say, examples of how you grew up around a masculine individual. Could be your father, grandfather, teachers, brothers. Could be, say, your mom that was totally masculine. Which really fucks things up, right? Or it could be a father, a figure, that didn't know what masculinity was and had a feminine frequency around you. Again, notice all those details, distortions. Breathe. And you're a little kid. You're a little kid scoping this environment out, checking. It's like, I'm a guy. Dad's a guy, but why is he not the masculine? Kids ask that all the time, by the way. Breathe deep. They've got a handbook of natural intelligence that basically tells them, it's like, damn, why is dad acting like that when the handbook says it should be like this? Same thing with mom as well, but this is man month. Okay. Breathe. These are the three reasons why. And as a note, you can bring in any man. You can bring Trump, Elon, all the leaders, the masculine leaders, feminine leaders as well, because most, like we talked about last month, most female leaders, women leaders, are basically men. Breathe. Somebody was talking about the beef series is magic. Thank you. Yeah, the beef series, again, man or woman, it allows you to let go of the distortions of the past. This is just a very small sample of it here. Whether it's abuse or whether it was true love, for your father, or anybody masculine around you. So as a child, as you go back to your childhood, again, look at the frequencies around you pertaining to masculinity. And then over time, people will go, oh, being successful, that's a man's job. That's a masculine trait. Being soft and, attentive, that's a woman's trait. When I say that, bullshit. Just straight out bullshit. It's just a pure frequency. Being soft and attentive is a frequency. You put it on a man, it becomes masculine. You put it on a woman, it becomes feminine. So there's no divide and conquer. That's what's happened in the world. Breathe deep. As a note, you can bring in your dead fathers, grandparents, friends, husbands, and obviously we can't change what happened to them. But as you take a deep breath in, we can definitely change. We can definitely change how you perceive or learn from them. Again, looking into the black box, what they did right, what they did wrong, and then learning to help you become, say, the best. Breath in. As we grow into our early teens, right before around puberty, and this is where that identity solidifies. Whether you're a man or woman, doesn't really matter, boy or girl. So where our identity solidifies. So even if you have, say, the hardware, software kind of got distorted, disoriented because of, well, free will, or say the lack of knowing how to use free will. There we go. We're going to go deep. If you guys are ready for it, if you're ready for it, even if you're new, if you're ready for it, and you don't know what about frequency work is, how fast you can transform with XI and all that, doesn't matter. Just take a deep breath in. Still works on you. And I can read the group. It's like, how can this guy change somebody through, through YouTube, even if it's on a recording? What's the frequencies behind it? Everything's a frequency. A lot of science behind it. Science that quantum physicists are coming into. Breathe. Presence without performance. What matters? Again, these are the key focuses that I've thought about, especially being a man. So why it matters? Modern men are, well, they're often trapped between toxic masculinity and, as I was saying earlier, performative softness, I guess you could call it. Right? So true masculinity doesn't try to be, it just is. It is. It doesn't dominate, apologize, or broadcast. It grounds. It leads through stillness. So as we meditate on shedding the layers, say, of approval, seeking, approval seeking, role playing, and external validation, let's help you return to your raw presence. Silent, watchful, and deeply aware. So breathe. We'll meditate on, if you want to ask yourself a question as you take a deep breath in, and as I help you release it through a frequency level. Where in my life am I performing masculinity instead of embodying it? Think of it. Where in my life am I performing masculinity instead of embodying it? And if you're a woman on this call, where in your life have you expected a man to be your distorted version of the man that's right for you? Breathe. Now let's go back. Let's go back to, again, the youth all the way to your, say, mid-age, half your age, no matter how old you are. So if you're 20, you go 10. If you're 60, you'd be 30. Let's reset or reactivate the iconic XI man in that age range. Again, half your age. From -9 months, let's just say -1 year, to half your lifetime. Breathe. Notice what you're feeling. Notice what's coming out of your, say, cellular identity. A lot of processing through the mind. Holy shit. A lot of heaviness. Breathe. One, two, one, two, one, two. And again, the men in the world, the leaders, right? The actors, the influencers of your life. How are they leading the younger generation? Let's focus in on that as well. Are they leading from broken signals, distortion? They might have created great empires. But why did they create? Did they create from fear? Did they create from escape? Because that's what those empires are built on. If your wealth, for example, is built on escape, on fear, on being different, hating who you weren't, who you were, to become who you didn't embody. That's in the family value structure. That's the legacy you're leaving behind, by the way. So again, ask yourself, where in your life are you performing masculinity instead of embodying it? The Navy SEALs, all the military people. Again, why did you go into the military? Breathe deep. Depending on where you are, again, if you're a beginner in XI, you may feel the heaviness, you might feel disoriented, you might not feel, it's like you're not exactly sure, but there is something happening for you. Some of you are in the mind, you know, it's like you'll probably go blank, or maybe even go, what the hell is this guy talking about? But then later on, like, a lot of awarenesses will come through for you. Okay. Breathe. Notice your chest. As you go deeper yet, the wounded controller versus the sacred protector. If you're a man, where have you been a wounded controller versus the sacred protector? Again, a disguise. If you're a woman, how have you experienced that? Breathe. And by the way, these aren't about gender roles. Okay? If you're a guy feeling feminine, fantastic. Either way, look at it. If you're a woman, more masculine, again, look at it. Ask it. Again, wounded controller. Like I talked about, most leaders are wounded controllers. Right? Most religions are wounded controllers. Again, they might have started out well, but say, for example, in Islam, holy hell. Take a deep breath in. Christianity isn't too far off either. They're the number one religion, say, that cuts off women's sexual organs so they don't feel pleasure. So, again, let's just say all religions have turned into a wounded controller. Breathe deep. Look at the Catholic religion. They have centers for wounded priests that abuse young men. Again, if that concept or belief system doesn't work in your sandbox, it shouldn't be spread out into the world. Okay? Again, fix your sandbox. Fix what's inside. Breathe deep. Where in your life have you been, again, say, saved, protected, secured? Even thought your freedom, got your freedom from a wounded controller. Breathe. This is why it matters. Masculinity was designed to protect space, not control outcomes. I'll say that again, if I can remember it. Masculinity was designed to protect space around you, not to control outcomes. What that means is that, yes, you protect your, say, the feminine frequency, but then you nurture them to be their best possible self. It's flipped around. Take a deep breath in. So nowadays, men, they grew up believing protection means controlling. Again, just in all the religions I explained, all the political systems I explained, right? All the Me Too movements. Breathe deep. And since that control didn't work out well, started fixing more. The more we fix, the more it hardens, right? And it narrows women down to a point where, well, they feel oppressed. And then they want the same, say, rights as men. So they turn into men. Again, it's just a vicious snowball. Breathe deep. Divine masculinity protects by holding frequency, okay, not suppressing it. So we'll meditate on healing the protector archetype. So it no longer operates from fear or trauma, but again, it's rooted in sovereignty. Again, what's yours? Breathe. And we'll meditate. You ask yourself this question. Have I mistaken control for protection? Where have I protected others from a wounded place? Yet, have I mistaken control for protection? And where have I protected others from a wounded place? Breathe. I see that a lot of realizations, the heaviness, if you notice, is washed off. Again, comment in if you can. Or you can just stay in the zone, in the vibes. Breathe deep. So as you chew on that question, as you go back from mid-age to your current age. So half your age and into your current age. Let's reset that frequency for you at a deep level. What's like a tuning fork? It should have been like this. So you start tuning and you'll start to see your life tune into where it should be. One, two, one, two. This is where, as I see in the group here, whether you're a war veteran, war hero, or you died in the war, right? So you sacrificed your life to protect those that you love. It's a vicious circle, vicious cycle. Because the more you love, say, that which you love, unfortunately, you would have to sacrifice yourself more. It's just straight out. It's just mathematical, guys. Breathe deep. Again, if you think the more you have to sacrifice, the more honor you have to protect the loved ones for you. And then it gets perpetuated by governments, right? You're protecting your freedom. And again, I'm not saying war is good or it's bad, but the consciousness behind it sucks. This is where protection has come about by controlling, right? To make you feel safe, you need to wear a mask. To do this, to make you feel safe, your freedom gets denied. Basically, that's what they're saying. Control. Doesn't have to be that way. And this is because, again, number 2, sacred protector, again, holding this space so everybody feels safe, so they can be their best possible version. If you're holding the space properly, by the way, people will respect that. And as people respect that, they won't do the heinous things that you're trying to control in the first place. They honor you. Simple. And it doesn't take billions a day to control for safety. Breathe. Getting a lot of distortions coming out. Just let it out. If you don't like what I'm saying, you probably need it the most, which is fine. Again, don't blame it on me. If you don't like what I'm saying, right? Go inwards and notice where, say, the sore spot is in you. That's all. As we go in deeper, breathe. Exactly, yes. And to protect your kids, keep them isolated, right? To protect your women, you got to control them. You got to tell them that they're ugly. And, a lot of women have gone through that, right? So they don't feel their sensuality, right? Breathe. So divine polarity. So making peace with the feminine. Breathe. So why it matters is that you can't reclaim the sacred masculine without making peace with the feminine. Not the feminine inside you, okay? Feminine outside of you. Some people go, well, we have feminine and masculine in all of us. Yeah, we do. But again, the reason why people say that is they've acknowledged that, like, loving somebody, caring for somebody, that's a feminine trait. Oh, security, that's a masculine trait. That's why they say, again, feminine, masculine. Frequency wise or genetic wise, yeah, you're, say, neutral until there's a point in time, an event horizon. Take a breath in. That dictates, you're a guy, you're going to have a penis, right? So again, it separates. So understanding that, again, pure masculinity is pure masculinity. Okay, you can be secure, you can be safe, right? You can be sensitive. There is no feminine qualities in any of those things. You can be emotional. If you're a man, you just do it as a guy, a man. If you're a woman, you do it as a woman. Again, there's no masculine, feminine. Okay? But we're going to go deeper into that. That's an outcropping or an extension of, say, the laws that got distorted. So the original laws, by the way, right, have gone eradicated, and we go, oh, this is the law that we have to, say, abide by or serve, right? We forgot the original intent. And with each generation, it gets more and more darker, more controlling. Like I said, breathe. And in today's world, everybody is, well, the same. Well, we're not. We're not. Look at yourself. You can see a woman, feminine, masculine. Simple, right? Breathe. Those distinctions took billions of years, by the way. I'll talk about the detailed gender roles and so on like that coming up. So as we understand, say, the frequency behind masculine, feminine, we can embrace it at a much, much deeper level. And this isn't about, again, a man, a woman, heterosexual, homosexual, or anything in between. It's about masculine, feminine, okay? A lot of you feeling your essence coming through, right? Especially all those men. And then a lot of women, from what I'm sensing as well. Right? It's like, damn, this is what it feels like to be a woman. This is what it feels like to be a man. So we'll meditate on unwinding old narratives. Old narratives of a battle, betrayal, imbalance with the feminine. So your masculinity, say, no longer has to react. It responds with clarity, direction, love. So I'll ask you this question, something you can meditate on. It's a tough one. Go deep inside, not here. Do I fear, resent, or overcompensate around the feminine? Do I fear, resent, or compensate around the feminine? Where do I collapse or attack in response to her power? And again, this isn't about gender roles. This is about femininity, about masculinity. Breathe. Again, where do I collapse or attack in response to the feminine power? And whether you're a woman or a man doesn't really matter. Where do you attack or collapse in the presence of a feminine power? That feminine power could be a man in his femininity. Breathe. And as we stand back and then observe your life from as earliest as you can remember, or you know that you were born at some time, and then run through 0 to 7, the liquid phase, 7-ish to about 14, the gelling phase, about 13 to about 20, 21, solidification phase. Breathe. Ish to about mid-30s, 40s, the hardening phase for men. This is the midlife crisis. They start to realize, they start to awaken because they go, take a deep breath in. A lot of men on this call from that point. Again, they start to go, holy shit. The handbook of their original source code shows up, and it's so far off to where they are. Hence, they have a midlife crisis. Because they start to see, it's like, damn, I'm way off. Way off. And they try to break that apart, but they don't know how to because they're not exponentially intelligent. Breathe deep. And then 35, 40s to current age, where it's just more compression, where you solidify so much, just like a diamond, right? Purifies itself. You turn into, say, that hardened identity. Not the prettiest, but a very hardcore identity. You've seen it in known people. Grumpy old men. Right? Breathe. There you go. A lot of truths coming out for you. Again, especially if you're new, you'll start to see things different. Okay? You'll start to question things. You start to question me. It's totally fine. But again, it's all about you. It's got nothing to do with me. Okay? So don't try to protect or guard your or justify, your reasoning. Go back and look at your reasoning and go, fuck, it didn't work for me. And again, the way you can tell it didn't work is like, look at where you are in your life. Simple. It's not about, well, shit, you know what? I made $1 billion and therefore it must have worked. But, my kids don't like me. My wife doesn't like me. I'm not a strong man. So it didn't really work for you. Just magnified it. Again, so a lot of people justify who they are through what they've accomplished. No, it doesn't work that way. That's why it's called justification. You're not. You're not standing in that presence of who you are. Breathe deep. I'm going to leave you in this space for as long as you wish. As long as you stay in this space, which I highly recommend. Just meditate on your own. Go for a walk, whatever it is. But be alone. Don't check your text or anything, but just be alone. Okay? There we go. And just meditate. If you loved what I said, fantastic. Understand why you loved what I said. If you hate what I said, fantastic. Understand why you hate what I said. Just observe it, again, as a black box, not as a justification to protect the wounds that you have. All right? All right, guys. We'll do scans next time around. I just want you to be in this space, okay? It's more powerful being in this space for you. All right, guys. As always, again, Man Month for June. It's going to be awesome. Really transforming the man. So highly recommend it. Please like and love this channel. Subscribe to it. Give it to your friends. Because you don't want to be the only one that has high XIQ, right? And again, there's going to be a talk on the XI woman journey coming up with Faye. All right, guys. As always, notice what we notice. Notice the details of what you're noticing. Peace.